ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्।
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்றுதூப்பும் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர கோமளவும்.
So we have to start with the first verse. So idamapi sangrihitam. This also has been briefed, abridged version of the rules. Ajnanat athava jnanat aparadheshu satsvapi prayaschittam kshamasveti prarthana eka eva keval. Though there are so many shastras, rules and regulations, stricter and the strictest also, there is one very simple remedy for all the mistakes that we do, namely excuse. Ask for excuse. Kshamasva. So unknowingly, ajnanat athava or jnanat, that is wantonly, knowingly. So aparadeshu satsati, even though there are some blunders, prayaschittam, the remedy, the atonement, so kshamasva. This follows exactly the words of the Charma Shloka of Sri Rama, namely, you don't even, as you say, fall down on the floor. Simply say, not high, but palms together. That's all. Even words are enough. Only one word is enough. Kshamasva. So simple a remedy. Sakradeva prapannaya tava asmi iti cha yachate. Remove even yachate. Say, I belong to you. You not say even excuse me, pardon me, forgive me. Kshamasva, mom. Prarthana. But it should be a hridayangama prarthana. This is what we call reading in between lines. So ask excuse sincerely. How to be sincere? That's the problem. How to be sincere? How to be more sincere than others? How to be the sincerest? So prarthana, request, appeal, everything, included. Beg, so begging, eka eva keva. It is enough. Only one is enough. Iti, thus when you have said, yattu anantaram uttam, later has been said in future, namely, archanadishu anarhatvat na kaschin naparadhyat. Don't make, even imagine to make a mistake during worship, and therefore we take the words of Sita Pirati from Ramayana. When Hanuman asked her permission to kill all the demonesses around her. It has been 9 months long, 9 long months, who disturbed the mental peace of Sita Pirati, and therefore she said, Nakaschin Naparadhya. There is no one above board in this world. There is no one who has not committed a single small mistake. So it is again the demonesses should not be killed by you, O Hanuman, because they are not responsible for giving me trouble. They have been asked to give. Ravana must be punished, not demonesses. Therefore, of course, Hanuman went to Ravana. So Archanadishu, while worshipping, see, the problem is our concentration, our what we call deviation in concentration. While we talk, while we say the mantras, namely, I will call them mantras, names as mantra. So when we say names, Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, where do our minds go? Where do our minds go? Are they concentrating on the God or the spectators, bhaktas, devotees, or on my family, on my health, my own health, my body, my mind? So are you worried about all other things except God during the archana? That is the problem. Ataha, therefore, anangīkrita ashesha kartri dosha vimarshaya. Nobody should blame us. Nobody should accuse us. In that way, we must avoid mistakes. Who are we? We are not the doers. Kartri. We are not the doers, but he is the doer. So let us not make him wrong. That's the attitude. You don't make others fumble. That's the meaning. So kartra dosha will come, the mistake, the blame on the doer will be placed on the Lord, because Lord is doing it. So let us avoid imposing the mistakes on the Lord. And it should be acceptable also. Non-acceptable defect should not be there. So when we are perfect in our attitude, action and so on, also in the word, deed and thought, word, deed and thought. Manasyekam, vachasyekam, karmanyekam mahatmanam. Vachasyanyat, manasyanyat, karmanyanyat, duratmanam. That's a subharitam. So what we call general pithy saying, P-I-T-H-Y, pithy saying, that general advice. Good people, great people will be one in both, all the three word names, word, deed and thought. So ataha, so therefore we saw that. So nobody should criticize us. Vimarshaya, vimarshaha. Nobody should throw tantrum on us. So kartru dosha vimarshaya. Even if they laugh at us, that will be a tantrum. If they scoff at us, SCOFF, when they scoff at us, when they stab at our back, that is, they go out of the temple and tell others about this priest is not good. So that criticism should be avoided. We must be above criticism. So Kripaya, please, eva asya devasya sarvaha api arhati tatkriya. So remember, all our actions are directed towards the Lord and never towards anything else. Sarvaha api arhati tatkriya. So all of us are bound and have bound and duty to, or we are bound to do the action only towards the Lord, only for the Lord. As Abraham Lincoln, the USA president, said, the country is for the people, by the people, and of the people. So we are talking about the temple is for the God, of the God, and by the God. So here, so we go to the 143. Iti etadapi shamana yogyata akhyapati. Again, we must be fit enough to get pardon from them, pardon from the Lord. Shamana. Shamana is exactly equivalent to Chamapana. So Chamapana Yogyata, do you have qualification to receive pardon from him? So that is doubtful. Therefore, that is also that we must be qualified to receive the pardon. Even for excuse, we must be eligible. Anyatha, otherwise, Kshamasva iti, we shout, we sincerely say the word Kshamasva, please excuse, Prarthana Vidhana Anupapatte. Your action is useless. It is irrelevant. When you are not sincere in asking the excuse, it is irrelevant that you are underqualified, disqualified to ask for pardon. Prarthana Vidhanat. There is a way of requesting. Beg, as you said, fall down on the floor. Sashtanga Namaskara. Cry. Not falsely, really. So we have same example in Kulashekara Alvar's Mukundamala. How to show how to just feel our devotion. He says our different limbs will do that. First word I just forgot. Kantena gadgadena. There are these words. Kantena gadgadena. Utkirna bashpambuna. So the tears will roll down from our eyes, both eyes, continuously. Our vision is impaired. Our look is prohibited. That is the devotion. So here, na cha etavata krita aparadhena nirbhayena bhavita. The more important one in the important aspect is our attitude is let us not be fearless. Let us not be fearless. Oh, I made the mistake. What if? I already asked for excuse. He will pardon me. There is no doubt he is so kind, he is sympathetic. Karuna Murti, he is a Karuna Murti. Karuna Sagara. Therefore, he will excuse. So, this kind of attitude is wrong. So, already I have done the mistake. So, I am fearless. So, these two are mistakes. So, na bhavitam. We must not be fearless. That means we will always be shivering in the bones. Let's see. Then prakshalanadhi pankasya durat asparshanam. So you stepped on a muddy place, marshy ground. We say marshy ground, M-A-R-S-H-Y. தமிழ்ல சதுப்பு நிலம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அது வந்து பேக்வாட்டர்ஸ்ல இருக்கும். The ocean backwaters, we will see what we call marshy place. There very, very good plants will come. Beautiful plants will come out of marshy ground. So we have stepped onto marshy ground. That is a muddy place. Turbid water. So we have washed our legs. We have washed our legs. We have washed our hands. But let us not go near again. It is better that, Varam, it is better that, Durat aspersion. Avoid going near muddy place. Meaning, don't commit mistakes. Don't think of committing mistakes. Don't be indifferent. Be alert. Be careful. That's the meaning of. So this is Nyayam. This is one of the Nyayams. There are about 230 plus Nyayas in Sanskrit. Logic, we say, Nyaya. Nyaya Shastram. You can say logistics also. The Durat Asparshanam. Let us not even think of the mud. So our mind should be washed away by, our sins should be washed away by the water of good action. There is a very big paragraph on the misbehavior of kings in Kadambari, a prose work in Sanskrit. The author is Banabhatta. Banabhatta is a very famous author in prose. And he is the only person who wrote two prose works. And any man who is good in Sanskrit will be tested only in prose. Gadyam kavinam vadanti. Nikasham vadanti. Gadyam kavinam nikasham vadanti. Suppose you want to test a Sanskrit scholar whether he is good in the knowledge, then you must ask him to write a prose work. Not poetry. Poetry can be easily composed. That's what they say. So Banabhatta wrote two prose works. And when he wrote two prose works, he first wrote Harsha Charitam in order to pull strings with his emperor, King Harsha. He wrote a biography of Harsha. Biography of Harsha. Then, at the ripe age of 80, he wrote an autobiography. But it is an imaginary plot called Kadambari. Very interesting stories, these two stories. And then he wrote also verses. In the beginning, he wrote also poetry. Very beautiful poetry. What you call Lakshana Grantha, namely definition poetry, poetry of definitions. How to write a prose? How should a prose be? What are the contents of prose work in Sanskrit? He has defined it. And he followed his definition. At the age of 85, he was on deathbed. He had two sons. He called his two sons. Both of them were called Bhushana and Bhushana Bhattabana and another name. Just I will tell you. There are two names, two sons. And he wanted to choose the better son among the two, so that he will follow as the chip of the old block. He continued the story Kadambari. Kadambari was left in the middle because he became very old to write. His mind was not normal, and therefore he asked the Vamana Bhattabana. The other name of the son was Vamana Bhattabana. Maybe he was short or so. The Bhushana Bhattabana. He tested them. How? A small test. These are all very interesting stories, small stories, anecdotes. So he tested them. How did he test them? He showed a tree to them. The tree was sterile. The tree had no leaves, no fruits, no only branches, no flowers. So it was a dilapidated tree. That was worn out tree. WORN. Worn out tree. Shattu pona maram. Pattu pona maram. The tree was dead. So he asked him to. He asked them to describe the tree. How to describe a dead tree? So Vamana Bhattamana gave a sentence. Small, only a small sentence, not big paragraph, big prose work and so on. Just a small sentence with about a few words, 3 or 4 words. So he said, Shushka Taruhu Tishtati Agrataha. He said, Shushka Taruhu, dry tree, stands Tishtati Agrataha, in front of me. பட்டுப்போன மரம் நிற்கிறது என் எதிரே. அவ்வளவுதான். That was the sentence given by Vamana Bhattapana. Of course, Vamana Bhattapana wrote Vikramanka Deva Charitam later and got name. That is different. He was also a good prose writer. That is different. But here, this Bhushana Bhattapana said, Neerasat, I mean, look at the words, look at the resonance also, alliteration. Neerasa taruhu vilasati purataha. Neerasa taruhu vilasati purataha. He said, sapless tree shines before me. There is no life in the tree. அதுக்கு உயிர் இல்லை, மரத்தில் உயிர் இல்லை, எல்லாம் பட்டு போயிடுது, இலை இல்லை, காய் இல்லை, பூ இல்லை, கிளை தான் இருக்கு. கிளை தான் இருக்கு. அது விறகுக்கு தான் உபயோகப்படும். It is useful for only fuel, cutting it and burning it. But he said, Neerasa taruhu, taruhu, the tree, Neerasa without sap, without the blood there, Vilasati, it shines, Purataha, in front. So look at the letters here. Neerasa, Neera, Rasa taruhu, Vilasati, Sata, Vilasati, Purataha, Rata. So Bhushana Bhattamana was chosen by the father, namely Bana Bhattamana, to continue the work called Kadambari. Of course, we don't know how he finished, but it was a positive story. It was a purely imaginative story. No character is ancient. Completely fictitious characters. Beautiful. It is like a China box. When you start reading the story, you see another story in that story. So it's called like a China box. And when you open...
3 generations, Swami. Huh? 3 generation story.
Ama. Around 3 generations mixed. That's a problem. You can explain 3 generations. You can describe 3 generations, but the 3 generations are overlapping with each other. That's the beauty in Kadam. You cannot understand very easily. But we used to read it only for enjoyment, for the aesthetic pleasure that we get, for the description that we have. There are 10 pages of Darbar description. There are 10 pages of Darbar description. 1 page of A4 size will contain only 1 sentence. 1 page of 200 words will have only 1 sentence. There is no full stop. And you will find alliteration also. And you have to find in prose work what you call majesty, ojaha. It is not simply alliteration. When you write a description of the palace of a king, it must be pompous, rich. You cannot do it as you like. So it should be a rich description. And it should be enjoyable, delectable. Delectable. It should be relished later on. There he says, kings do not look up. They do not look up. Why? They forget heaven. they forget heaven. Meaning, they forget there is another world which they must go. That meaning, again, they don't want to read Shastras. Some kings, and then the umbrella, white umbrella over their head, hides the heaven from their view. So that's what it is. Meaning, kings are insolent, kings are proud. They want to order others, but they don't want to obey others' orders. Of course, king should have a leadership. Should have a leadership. The leadership today is, according to MBA, Master of Business Management, MBM. So you have business administration. You must be flexible also. So there is a uh, therefore the Kadambari has got a lot of what we call accolades. 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 Kadambari rasajnanam aharopi narochati. There is a saying about Banaha kavihi, anye kavayaha kanaha. Bana had two eyes, just like others. That meaning he could give a complete description of anything. And he is not leaving in lurch any description in the middle. And other poets are only one-eyed poets. That means other poets will not be able to look at anything completely in all round fashion. So there are so many. So I am just giving a deviation from this anecdote because we are going to stop here. Akarmanyata padaka doshaha. We are not going to see this now. So this title is very negative also. So there are so many defects listed here. Doshaha. What kind of doshaha? Padaka doshaha. Again, I am doubtful about the letter padaka, but I think it should be accepted as the right word. So akarmanyata. Suppose we are inactive. Suppose the priests are inactive. வேலையே செய்யல, பணியே செய்யல. சில பேர் அப்படி இருப்பாங்க. They always do dereliction of duty. They always avoid doing heavy duties. And akarmanyata, when they are inactive, then padaka dosha, what will befall us? What defects will befall us? That's the meaning of, I think, padaka. Befall us. So the sins will accrue to us. When we are inactive in a temple, when we don't help the chief priest, or suppose I am the chief priest, I command others and I order others, I make others do, but I remain quiet. I remain idle. I remain inactive. Atra cha akarmanyata hetun aparadhan emam aha Bhagavan. The problem is we are hearing from the horse's mouth. We are hearing from the horse's mouth. Namely, Lord himself says. That is the beauty of Pancaratra. If others say you can just avoid, deviate, become indifferent, but Lord says. So what will be the reasons for your inactivity? What will be the reasons for your inactivity? It is listed here. And therefore, the resultant effect is error. And therefore, let us avoid these errors. Now he addresses his wife, Sundari, beautiful wife. Why she is addressed as beautiful wife? Because she addressed her as Bhuvana Sundara. Bhuvana Sundara. Tutva gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shinmatante Nirvishya Karma Vivaraihi Haratom Gatapam. The first song out of the 7 verses, love letter to Krishna, Lord Krishna by Rukmini. Hey Bhuvana Sundara. most handsome of the entire, all the universe. Rakshan Manmatha Manmathaha. So when she called him so, he says, Shundari. He did not say Bhuvana Sundari. Why? Because for Lord Shivan Narayana, Mahalakshmi is beautiful only to him. Only to him. The physical, mental beauty should be applied only to him, not others. So we say Mahalakshmi is beautiful. We take pleasure in worshipping her because she is beautiful. But we are also worshipping other ugly goddesses. But we want our selfish motive satiated.
சுவாமி காதம்பரியில சுகநாசனோட உபதேசம் லக்ஷ்மியை பத்தி ரொம்ப ரெண்டும் அபாரம் அபாரம். ஆக்சுவலா சுகநாதர் உபதேசம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம்லி குட். அதுல லக்ஷ்மியை பத்தி, லக்ஷ்மி நீ நினைக்கிறபடி அப்படிலாம் அவங்ககிட்டயே வெறுப்பாலாம் நினைக்காத, வருவா போவா, யார்கிட்ட இருக்கணும், அவங்க அப்படி ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஒஸ்தியான ஒரு டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் அது.
நீங்க அதை என்ஜாய் பண்றீங்கன்னு ஏற்கனவே சொல்லிருக்கீங்க. ஒன்னு. நம்பர் 2 வந்து ஒரே நெகட்டிவ் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் ஆஃப் மகாலட்சுமி.
இல்ல சுகநாத் அது இல்ல அப்படி கிடையாது. அதான் கரெக்ட். நெகட்டிவ்லாம் இல்ல, அது ரொம்ப பர்ஃபெக்டானது. ஏன்னா
ஆனா அந்த பையன் வந்து சின்ன பையன், அந்த பையன் சந்திராபீடம் சின்ன பையன், அவனுக்கு அவன் யூத், அவன் அதனால அவன் he must not go astray. அதனால அந்த மாதிரி அட்வைஸ்.
அத்தனையும் அவன் குருகுலம் முடிச்சுட்டு வந்திருக்கான். அவன் வந்து நாட் ஸ்ட்ரெயிட், உபதேசத்துக்கு ஸ்ட்ரெயிட்டா வரல. அவன் குருகுலம் முடிச்சுட்டு வந்திருக்கான். அவன் அபாரமான ஒரு, அது வந்து அந்த உபதேசம் வந்து படிச்சுட்டே இருக்கான். சும்மாவே படிச்சிருக்கான், பொழுது போல உட்காந்து படிச்சு.
அந்த ஸ்கூல் வந்து அவுட் சைட் தி சிட்டி லிமிட்ஸ்.
ராஜா
அவன் படிச்ச ஸ்கூல். அதாவது he was not affected by the distractions of the city bus.
not corrupted by city's environment.
And 3 more descriptions. One is Shukanada's Upadesha. The forest called that Aranyam is called another description. Then Darbar description in the beginning. And then love episode by Pundarika and so on.
அவனுக்கு என் ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கு அட்வைஸ் பண்ணுவான் பாருங்க, ஏன்டா இப்படி அநியாயம். அது வந்து அதோட ஏன்னா இவ்வளவு இது வயசா இருக்க, இவ்வளவு இதுவாக்கி எப்படா மனசு மாறின.
And also the letter from the letter from Kadambari to Pundarika.
அருமையான காவியத்துக்கு அது ஒரு பெரிய அடியே.
Yes. Ashwini is a twin god. And now we are talking about the handsomeness of Lord Sriman Narayana. Two Ashwins are the most handsome of the 33 crores of gods. They are doctors, they are physicians. They only give us good vision of eyes. They are the most handsome. And many people many gods feel jealous over them. They are doctors, they are physicians. And again, the first star of course, in scriptures, Kritika is the first star. They start with Kritika. But generally, we say first, and they are called Ashwati, Ashwin. Very good. So,
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்திரம் ஞான வைராகிய பூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத் வெங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்த தேசிகம். கவிதார்க்கிக சிம்ஹாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேஷாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமஹ. வாதித்விபசிரோ பங்க பஞ்சானன பராக்கிரமः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य चिरं विजयतां भुवि. சீரொன்னு தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்னு சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்னு தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர பூமளவும் வாழ்வு.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ